everyone, Richard Phillips back at you with some more modern action. Thank you so much for all the positive feedback I've got on my blue-white control video. So I'm just going to be rolling off that, doing a Grixis control video. I think I mentioned briefly in the deck tech that I had 4-1'd with a Grixis list that was very similar to this one. The main difference I've made between this one and the one I 4-1'd with is I included Frantic Inventory. I was playing Factor Fiction in the other one, and like an additional Cling to Dust and stuff like that, and it felt a little clunky. Frantic Inventory is also clunky, but hopefully a little less so. So we'll see how that goes. I was basically finding myself not using my mana a lot of turns because I was just like way too high on 4-drops. So maybe this will help smooth things out a little bit. Yeah. But this is Grixis control. It's kind of built around the Snapcaster Kolaghan's Command loop, and that's going to provide an incredible amount of value. We got some cards like Tassiger to kind of, put something up that the opponent does need to deal with, so it's not like our opponent's just kind of infinite time to try to beat our Kolaghan's Command Snapcaster Mage loop. A little bit low on lands, 24 lands, would like to fit a 25th in this deck, but unsure really where the cut would be for that. We're really, really weak to graveyard hate, like Relic of Progenitus is potentially super problematic, which is something that I just know going into deck building, that, I didn't really build this deck to beat that card, and hopefully we don't face too much graveyard hate during the entire league. In the sideboard, got some Shark Typhoons for interactive matchups, Aether Gust to beat like Red-Green Panza, and decks like that are starting to gain popularity. Brutality for the burn matchup, plus this Cling to Dust, which is helpful there. Flusterstorm for just, being able to win counter wars. Spellbomb with the Cling to Dust, plus the other one main, is hopefully enough to kind of be able to beat at least other decks that use the graveyard. Probably won't still be able to beat Dredge, but also this deck isn't really set up in a way where it can almost ever beat Dredge, so let's just hope we don't face it. Wildfire, obviously, for Tron, Witch of Sacred Resurgence. Damnation's just a nice catch-all, and the opponent has to respect it once they see it the first time, so they can't just overextend completely on the board. And with that, guys, let's run into a league. Once again, just remember, if you're enjoying my content, please subscribe to the channel. I promise I won't bombard you with notifications or anything like that. And once I reach 1,000 subscribers, I can start to monetize this channel. As of right now, all the views that you're seeing are completely free, both on your end and my end. If you're seeing any ads, that's YouTube making the money, not me. So please get me to that 1,000 subscribers so I can at least, put some money back into the channel that I've spent getting the equipment and things for this setup. Thanks, everyone. See you at round 1. All right, everyone, welcome to round number 1. We unfortunately did not win the die roll, but this hand is probably going to be good enough. We got something to do on 1 and 3. Eldrazi Temple. All right, so this is going to be potentially a pretty good Kolaghan's Command matchup. We are certainly going to need to find removal for Eldrazi and a Force Negation at some point. So we'll start with the Steam Vents because this will eventually want to get a black source, but we might not have to shock for it, depending on what our draw is here. Turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer is really hard to beat in pretty much any capacity. So we're just going to let this resolve, and then we'll Thought Scour afterwards. But, we're certainly in for it here. This deck is, more of a Lightning Bolt deck than it is a Fatal Push deck. I mean, we do have 2 of them, but might be a little bit rough here. All right, and our opponent exiles a Cryptic Command. All right, I guess that kind of makes sense. All right, we found another Kolaghan's Command, which is not exactly what we were looking for. We might be able to, like, Bolt plus Kolaghan's Command, the Thought-Knot Seer, but the third Kolaghan's Command is not ideal. All right, so this way we can Thought Scour ourselves, and then if we draw exactly Fatal Push, we can Fatal Push the Thought-Knot Seer. We'll probably just do this in combat. Like, there's not really a downside to doing it until just now, and obviously there is downside if we wait, so. All right, we missed the Fatal Push. There is a Snapcaster Mage in our yard, so that's pretty good, I guess. Unfortunately, we're going to have to take quite a bit of damage here, going down to 11. It's obviously just one of the problems with this deck in general is that it's sometimes very problematic with its own damage. And then obviously we draw Drown in the Loch, which is horrendous here. If we would have pointed both Thought Scours at the opponent, it would have turned on the Drown in the Loch, but there's enough cards like Snapcaster Mage and Fatal Push that we wanted to get either in our hand or in our graveyard, where, I mean, I think this play makes sense at least. Alright, so what we can do here is we can destroy the Matter Reshaper and rebuy the Snapcaster Mage, and then that means next turn we would be able to kill the Thought-Knot Seer, but, I mean, we're really just barely hanging on here. We're going to do it in the middle of combat. Opponent still has 3 cards in hand, which is really scary. Chalice of the Void on 1. Okay, so that actually, I'm actually very happy they played it now, because that means that we're just going to rebuy the Snapcaster Mage and blow up the Chalice of the Void, I guess, at the end of the turn. Oh boy. All right. We're going down to 4 here, which is not great. We're going to be going down to 3, actually, with the fetch land. But, all right, so we're going to return this Snapcaster Mage and blow up this Chalice of the Void. And then we can throw the Snapcaster Mage in front of the Matter Reshaper and Fatal Push the Thought-Knot Seer. All right, we drew another Drown in the Loch, which is not great right now, but it could be good later. Opponent's going to get Tron, which is also scary. All right, at least they don't have Reality Smasher. Reality Smasher would be just straight up, you know, good game here. So we are going to have to fetch with this and get an island. So we are unfortunately just dead if our opponent has yeah, there's a couple cards I guess our opponent could have here. Our opponent could have Dismember, that would kill us. Our opponent could have yeah, there's a lot of things that were dead here too. Dismember's the big one, I guess. All right, Warping Whale. So we theoretically can counter this Warping Whale, but then we still just die. So I guess what we need to do is we need to hit Force and Negation here. So we need to hit exactly Force and Negation. No, we do not hit Force and Negation. All right, so we're just dead then. All right, so game 2 against Eldrazi Tron. So we're probably going to bring in the Cleansing Wildfire. They're not as good as they are against like normal Tron, but they're still fine for sure in this matchup. Opponent's probably going to be bringing in Graveyard Hate, so I'm going to get rid of Cling to Dust because that's really bad in the face of some of the Graveyard Hate the opponent could be playing. And Lightning Bolt is just not particularly good against a lot of their Eldrazi. So maybe we'll cut 2 Lightning Bolts and a Cling to Dust for those. Only other card I think I might want to bring in is Shark Typhoon. It's just a really good threat against a lot of what the opponent's doing. Drown in the Loch is fine for the late game, but not necessarily great early. I think we're okay just kind of going like this, but we can always adjust this post board if we get a game 3. All right, this hand has Field of Ruin in it, so we won't just lose like that. The Polluted Deltas can feed a potential Tasigur. Opponent mulligans, that's good. Ooh, Gemstone Cavern. Okay, so the opponent's really trying to go fast. They're going to be down to 5 cards. We have the Culligan's Command, so we're not super worried about Chalice on 1. Like, they're got rid of... Alright, I don't think that's right. Like, to some extent, our opponent does have to have a lot of cards to win this matchup. They can't just play... They can't just play like one thing and beat us. I mean, maybe they can. They almost did last game. See if this is a Chalice of the Void. Them playing the Wastes is really good for us, though, because they probably only have like 1 or 2 basic Wastes in the whole deck. That's fine. We will get a Watery Grave. Lightning Bolt. All right. Not ideal. Once again, we're just going to play the Polluted Delta. We want to get as many lands out of our deck early as possible. It'll fuel our Delve. It'll make our more likely to draw spells. We have enough lands right now. We're fine with that. See what the opponent does here. We can decide whether or not we want to Fuel to Ruin next turn or not. This is a Chalice on 1. This is a Chalice on 1. All right, I'm not worried really whatsoever about that. Honestly, I think we might just blow up the Expedition map and make our opponent discard here. And then in a couple of turns, we can eventually Kolaghan's Command to, or snap Kolaghan's Command to blow up the Chalice of the Void. Yeah, I don't really hate that at all. So let's destroy the artifact and make them discard. So this is a 2-for-1, and our opponent started at 5 cards. So I mean, I don't think this can be bad in any capacity. Yeah, discarding Karn, that's fine. See what our opponent still has in hand. Walking Ballista for 1, that's, yeah, fine. Force Negation's not bad. All right, so I think we actually want to do this now, because if we do it on our opponent's upkeep, they could just spend 4 mana and pump up the Walking Ballista, which, I mean, isn't an amazing play, but I just don't think it's something that we want to let happen. Like, oh, we're going to get a Black Source because we are planning on doing the Kolaghan's Command stuff. All right, so this is fine. Next turn, we'll snap Kolaghan's Command to blow up the Chalice of the Void and probably shock the Ballista. Or if the opponent blows up the Snapcaster Mage in response, we might be able to do something else with it, which is cool. This is Reality Smasher. We actually might be in a little bit of trouble. Thought Not Seer. All right, it's not great, but it could be worse. So they get to take a Snapcaster Mage here. Take Force Negation, okay. And they're not attacking. That's weird, okay. All right, we'll just show the land that our opponent knows about. This way we can Snapcaster Mage and Kolaghan's Command, and depending on how the opponent wants to play this, a few different things can happen, which is why I think I want to wait. We also don't even theoretically have to... We don't even have to choose right away, which is kind of cool. We'll just play the Snapcaster Mage. See if the opponent wants to ping the... No, they don't. Okay, so we will just go here and block, and this actually will make our decisions tree a lot easier. Sure. So we'll do that, and now we'll just shock the Thought Not Seer and probably blow up the Chalice of the Void, because we have another Snapcaster Mage in hand already. Or we can just... Yeah, we certainly want to shock that, and I guess we'll just destroy the artifact. So we're going to destroy target artifact, 2 damage to any target. So artifact, this, red and black. This way we can bolt the Walking Ballista. Sure, puts a counter on the Ballista, that's fine. Fortunately, we're not really drawing anything, but Archmage's Charm is something, though. Okay, that's good. All right, so we're just going to main phase blow this up. Yeah, this is fine. We go to 14. And play the Delta and pass. We'll probably just draw some cards here. Cool. All right, because, you know, we don't have to worry about Mystic Sanctuary anymore in the format because they banned it, we can just fetch ahead of time, and that way we're slightly reducing our chances of drawing the cards that we just searched or that we just fetched for. Yeah, there's just we don't have to get cute with our plays really anymore now that there's no Mystic Sanctuary. So we just want to hit our land drops, just keep accruing value off these Archmage's Charms. Opponent would need like Field of, or Cavern of Souls to really get back in this game. I think if they don't draw that card specifically, like in the next couple of draws, we'll be completely fine here. We actually have both of these counter spells up. I'm gonna Cryptic Command most anything, yeah, just... Yeah, Drown of the Lock is also a pretty hard counter now at this point in the game. Draw a couple more cards. All right, Cleansing Wildfire is cool. I don't know if I want to actually show our opponent that we have Cleansing Wildfire, because it would actually completely change the way that the opponent boards and plays the game next game. Start with Thought Scouring ourselves to see what we get. All right, we don't have any of them in the graveyard right now. So I guess we'll just do this and we'll pass, planning on inventorying. Possibly snap Archmage's Charming in addition. Blast Zone's pretty cool. All right. Opponent's putting up a little bit of a fight. All right, so we'll plan on doing that. We're going to plan on snap Archmage's Charming plus Frantic Inventorying. All right, we drew Cryptic Command. Perfect. Running low on blue sources, actually, which is kind of funny. So we actually don't have any more fetchable lands in the deck. So that Scalding Tarn does not do anything. See if this is some sort of... Yeah, I'm cool with pretty much whatever this is. All right. Still don't want to play this Cleansing Wildfire. Would rather... we showed one there's one in the graveyard. So at this point, I guess we might as well go ahead and... We can just blow up the Blast Zone. We can see how many basics the opponent plays. There's probably enough value in making this play. Oh, Tasigur. All right, let's play Tasigur. All right, that's a legitimate clock on the opponent. Let's dismember. Dismember. Let's just counter this. And then we still have Cryptic Command up. If our opponent doesn't do anything, we can just activate the Tasigur. Scavenger Grounds. All right, that's actually a good one. So we'll get a card out of this. Oh, actually, if the opponent wants to do this, this is great, because otherwise it could have just given us back Frantic Inventory, and that's not very good. So now we're probably going to get a better card than Frantic Inventory. Yeah, it looks they were required to give us back a Tasigur, which, I mean, also isn't amazing, but sure. All right, these Scalding Tarns don't do anything, so we'll just go ahead and attack. Opponent's going to need 2 incredible draw steps in a row to get back in this game, and even then, I don't think it'll be enough. We can activate Tasigur twice. Okay, opponent just concedes, fine. Whew. All right, so Scavenger Grounds is like a kind of a beating against us. I mean, we kind of knew that. Maybe there's a chance we should have this Damnation in. Like, the opponent is definitely more creature heavy and less Planeswalker heavy than I expected. Yeah, I mean, it's probably not really a downside to playing it. And if we're not going to play it in this matchup, then, like, what matchup are we going to play it in? All right, so we'll play that, and we'll cut a drown. No, we'll cut another Lightning Bolt. They seem really keen on getting that, the Chalice of the Void down on 1, which is, like, not very good, but it theoretically could get us if we're not ready for it. So, yeah. All right, this hand is really, really good. We'll keep it. Don't like pitching Frantic Inventories to force negation, but if we have to do it to prevent us from dying, we will. So we can go, the Polluted Delta can get, oh, another Frantic Inventory. Wow, all right, so this is a lot of cards, theoretically. So this will get a red source, this will get red-blue, and then we can Cleansing Wildfire or something next turn. If we feel like we might get Troned. If we're not going to get Troned, we can probably just draw a card with Frantic Inventory. Chalice on 1. Chalice on 1, sure. We don't even have anything to really do with that. All right, so we'll play this, tapped. I'm not going to force a Chalice on 1. There's significantly scarier things in the deck. All right, so I think we will just Cleansing Wildfire this Eldrazi Temple. This will hold off Thought-Knot Seer next turn, which is one of the ways that our opponent could easily beat us, is with Thought-Knot Seer, with this being our hand. So let's do that. All right, now we might have to Field of Ruin something. That's fine. Yeah, we should probably just do, it's definitely the most conservative line here, but it's probably makes the most sense to do it. So we'll wait until our opponent's draw step and then hope that they've drawn their second waste. We'll probably get, I guess, a black source here. We do want to eventually set up our mana in a way where we can cast like Cleansing Wildfire and Kolaghan's Command in the same turn, and if we just keep getting islands, we won't be able to do that. So I guess we'll just get a swamp here. That's fine. There's an Eldrazi Temple. All right. At least it's no Thought-Knot Seer. Karn the Great Creator is definitely going to get forced, and I'll probably just pitch one of these Frantic Inventories, as sad as that is. Maze Mind's Tome. Well, that draws cards, so I guess, yeah, we're going to counter that. All right, so we unfortunately only have 3 Frantic Inventories in the deck now. All right, we can play another Cleansing Wildfire and a Cryptic Command this turn. And a Frantic Inventory this turn. Yeah, I guess we're going to do that. Blow up this Eldrazi Temple. See if our opponent has another wastes. They do not. All right, so that was really good then. Play this island and plan on just inventorying. Best draw would be like Tasigur, probably, because we could play Tasigur and hold up Cryptic Command next turn. Yeah, that's a little scary. All right. Well, that resolves. So they might get a like some graveyard hate here. We could be in a little bit of trouble here. We'll see. No, okay, they just tick up. Sure. All right, that's actually a little bit less scary. So now we have the ability to Fatal Push the Matter Reshaper plus Cryptic Command here. Plus, we can draw with the inventory if our opponent doesn't cast anything that's scary. Tech Edge is scary though. All right, what are they gonna get? Getting a card from outside the game. Oh, they get a Maze Mind's Tome. Okay, well that will counter. So we can counter it, and we can bounce the Karn. Oh, we have the Fatal Push is preventing us from pushing the Matter Reshaper. So we can counter this and bounce the Karn, and then try to counter it on the way down. All right, so we'll counter this and return this to hand. And we'll get a red source, Steam Vents. And go to 9. Field of Ruin. All right, so that Field of Ruin actually does take our opponent completely off a mana. I think before that, we're going to want inventory to see what we draw. Draw another inventory. All right, so then we can force a negation the card on the way down. So we'll just Field of Ruin them off of this Urza's Tower, I guess. So this just takes them completely off of mana. And we'll get an island. And then we'll inventory. We have to draw a blue card in order for this whole plan to work, but I'm assuming we will. All right, we didn't draw a great blue card, but we did draw one. So maybe we will just let the Karn resolve then. Yeah, I guess we'll let this resolve because we have this Cryptic Command now. Lightning Bolt will be... Oh, no, we got the Chalice of the Void. All right, so Lightning Bolt will not be a good card. Mystic Forge. All right, so that's a card worth countering. Scalding Tarn. All right, we'll play Creeping Tar Pit, and I guess we'll pass. We've unfortunately bricked really hard here. We have way too many lands in hand. All right, so Mystic Forge. So I think what we'll do is we'll counter the Mystic Forge and bounce the Matter Reshaper. This will give us a lot of time to reset up what we're trying to do. And if our opponent wants to tick down on the Karn, we can kill it with the Creeping Tar Pit. If they tick up, then they're not really going anywhere with the Tar Pit or with the Karn. So I guess that's good. Yeah, all right, so they're just gonna tick it up, and then we can fire in with the Tar Pit, play another Tar Pit. Prevent our opponent from getting more value off of that. But yeah, we're just drawing complete blanks. Matter Reshaper's back. My gosh. All right. So yeah, Watery Grave tapped. And we'll fire in with the Creeping Tar Pit. So now we can decide whether or not we want to try to trade this Matter Reshaper. We honestly might have to. I guess the opponent can blow it up with a Tech Edge. All right, we'll give it one more turn. I think that we're going to need to use the Force of Negation here, so we'll see. The opponent can just blow up the one of our Creeping Tar Pits with the Tech Edge, which kind of sucks. But see if they have an Eldrazi. Oh, they have a card in Great Creator. Okay, so this is why we left open the ability to do this. So now we need to draw like Snapcaster Mage. Cryptic Command. All right, that's actually a very good one. Yeah, I want to play around not losing to as many cards as possible. So we'll see the opponent will now attack, and we will activate the Creeping Tar Pit. And the opponent will try to blow up the Creeping Tar Pit, I think. Oh, they have a Dismember. Okay. Let's see if we can get all of our opponent's stuff. So we'll do this, and then we'll activate this Creeping Tar Pit. And then we'll see if our opponent goes to blow it up with the Tech Edge, and then we can just bounce the Matter Reshaper and draw a card. That actually seems pretty good. Oh, they're just letting us block. Okay. Sure. They reveal Urza's Power Plant. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. So opponent doesn't have anything. We can pass. All right. So now we have a Cryptic Command up. Oh, and a Snapcaster Mage. All right. Perfect. Cool. All right. So now we're kind of doing it. We can Snapcaster Cryptic. We can Snapcaster Frantic Inventory to draw 2. Which, I mean, 2 is not like a lot of cards, but it's certainly better than 0. But we might have stabilized now. It just took like the whole deck to stabilize. All right. That is going to get countered. So we're going to counter that and draw a card. All right, and with us drawing another Snapcaster Mage, I think that plays exactly the one we're going to go for here. So we will fetch here, and we'll get a tap land. And then we will use this to inventory to only draw 2 cards. But that should... Oh, it is 3 cards. Okay. So that should seal it up. Oh, because when we're casting it, it's 1 card plus the other 2 Frantic Inventories. Right. Okay, so there was 3 in the yard. That makes sense. All right. I don't know why that was so hard for me for a second, but okay. Draw 3 cards. All right, we do have a hard counter, so that's why I'm willing to fire in like this. We could still lose theoretically to, you know, there's definitely some cards we could lose to. See what happens here. Ugin the Ineffable. All right. Let's just Snapcaster Cryptic Command, I guess. All right, and there's Kolaghan's Command, which is very good. We can blow up the Chalice of the Void here, which will unlock a lot of our hand. So we can just discard, or you discard and destroy Chalice of the Void. All right, Expedition Map is discarded. Another Charm is good. We will Thought Scour ourselves. Hitting another Snapcaster Mage is great. All right, now I think we got this locked up. It just took like the whole deck to figure out how to get there, but we got there. They would need Cavern of Souls, plus a lot of other stuff. Chalice on 1. Let's just bolt the opponent. Sure, that resolves. Matter Reshaper. Yeah, we can just counter this. And then we can Snapcaster Kolaghan's Command. I need a blue. This. Snapcaster Mage. Target Kolaghan's Command. And then we'll K-Command, Shock, and destroy the Chalice, then attack for 6, and that's it. Great. All right, 1-0, on to match number 2. All right, everyone, welcome to match number 2. So this is Glycinio, and they revealed Gigantha. I actually played them yesterday with this exact list, or very similar list. They're on Tron, so I know that for a fact, which is a little bit iffy, but they also know what I'm on, because I'm on the same thing that I played them yesterday. So... all right, we'll keep this. We probably don't need all these lands. We could also just bottom a Frantic Inventory, which is, I guess, a little less greedy. Yeah, let's just put back a land, I guess. We'll put back this Scalding Tarn, sure. All right, we know they're on Tron. This hand isn't great against Tron, but there's not that much that is good against Tron. Game 1 for this deck, but post-board with the Wildfires, we should be pretty well set up to beat them. All right, Delta. We just basically need to fade whatever their turn 3 Tron play is. Assuming they have turn 3 Tron. All right, they're going to stir. Oh, they just get a star? All right, cool. So they're probably missing the 3rd Tron piece then. So we actually might be able to set up a Archmage's Charm to counter all of their good stuff. So that's good. Oh, Field of Ruin. All right, so if they don't set up this turn, then we can actually just Field of Ruin them next turn, which also seems really good. Oh, they just had Tron. All right, well, Karn the Great Creator might be able to beat that. We'll see. Snapcaster Mage. All right, not great. See if they get Liquid Metal Coating. Probably their best bet. Yeah, they get Liquid Metal Coating. All right. So we'll fire off a Frantic Inventory here, I guess. All right, so we will... yeah, I mean, that's the only way we're going to be able to use our mana, so we'll do that. Drown in the Loch. All right, that's not very good. All right, we'll just play our island and pass. We're probably just dead here. They unfortunately just had the natural Tron, or they were able to draw it very easily. And we never drew a Force Negation. But we were already mulliganing, and yeah. Yeah, with Relic main deck too, yeah, we just pack this up. I'm not going to try to fight through all this, especially on camera like this. All right, so we knew what our opponent's playing. We have a better idea of it now. Cleansing Wildfire in, and I think I like the Shark Typhoons in just because we need to win the game as quick as possible. The Lightning Bolts in general are really, really bad, and so are the Fatal Pushes. So, like, these are cards that I really would like to try to get out of the deck if possible. The Fatal Push is more so than the Lightning Bolts, just because Lightning Bolts can kill, like, Karn in that case. So maybe we can cut these and leave these in. Yeah, this is probably fine. The Cling to Dust is just a cantrip. You could definitely make a case that, like, we want the Flusterstorm over that because we can counter, like, a Sylvan Scrying with that, or a Sylvan Stir, or a Stirrings. Yeah, maybe let's do that because, like, the Cling to Dust is really bad against a lot of the stuff that they're doing. Like, they have Relics main, which is scary as anything. All right, opponent's going to get their Gigantha. We need to disrupt their lands. This hand might be a trap. I have to think about it for a second. So we don't do anything, and then we Archmage's Charm on 3 to counter their first thing. Yeah, that's just going to give them way too much time to set up. Yeah, I'm going to mulligan this. All right, I will keep this, and I'm going to put the Lightning Bolt on the bottom. I think we're actually going to have a pretty good target for this Flusterstorm. So I'm going to play Steam Vents tapped. And then we can either do Inventory or Flusterstorm, depending on what their play is. Yeah, all right, so Chromatic Star. So this means that most likely next turn is going to be a good Flusterstorm turn. So I'm going to play this Polluted Delta so that we can get a black source tapped and Flusterstorm. And then we can theoretically snap Flusterstorm if we want to. But yeah, they're going to play some sort of green spell here, and it's a good Flusterstorm target. Yeah, this is why we play Flusterstorm. It doesn't seem like it would be great in this matchup, but it is. And it's letting us set up our mana relatively easily. And then next turn, if they try to do something similar, we can Snapcaster Flusterstorm. I'm going to play this because we're going to want to take as least painful mana as possible, because we might have to fight through some cards that theoretically can be very scary. Yeah, so here we go. Another great example here of the Snapcaster Flusterstorm line. I guess we'll just get an island here. That's fine. I really am a little worried about having to fight through multiple Wormcoil engines. Oh, same targets. Yeah, same targets, same targets. So great example of, especially on the play, Flusterstorm doing a lot of work. Let's get in there with the Snapcaster Mage. We can figure out if we want to cast Inventory or Cryptic Command based on, you know, what the opponent plays here. Stirrings. Well, I mean, we're just going to counter that because that's what we've been doing this whole time so far, is trying to prevent them from getting to Tron. Sure, cycling Wilt is fine. Miss a land drop? No, no miss. All right, that's fine. All right, Shark Typhoon, cycling that's not bad at all. Adds a little bit of a clock. Expedition Map. We can just hard cast Force that. Yeah, I think I like that. We could cycle Shark Typhoon and see what we get, and then maybe we'll just pitch Frantic Inventory. Nah, let's just hard cast counter this. That's fine. It's not the greatest use, but we're holding the opponent off of... Yeah, I mean, this is fine. Like, the opponent gets a thing, but we're going to get to fight the Karn. They get an Expedition Map. Okay. Now we can just kind of, with the same theme here, we can just Snapcaster Force Negation, this Expedition Map. Just hope the opponent can't really do much else. Just get Gigantha, that's fine. All right, cool. That's fine. Yeah, this Wormcoil engine is theoretically a problem. This is what I was a little bit worried about before. Let's inventory and see if we can draw something. Thought Scour is not really something, is it? All right, there's the cryptic command, so we can at least bounce it. All right, we're gonna make a really small shark. I think this is our best chance of winning now, is to try to really just cycle through, and because we have this worm coil engine that we have to beat. All right, so now we can blow up. So we can just bounce this, draw a card, and then counter it on the way down. Actually, that seems really good. Yeah, cool. We'll do that, and then we'll just counter it on the way down. Cool. All right, and we just have to play around. We just have to hope they don't have, what's that card? Veil of Summer. Oblivion Stone. That's fine. So we can Snapcaster here to make them spend the whole next turn Oblivion Stoning. So we can Snapcaster Thought Scour. Is that any good? I guess it doesn't really change the clock much. How many bolts do we have left in the deck? We have 1 bolt in the deck. All right, I guess that's not enough. So that does not justify making this plan. So we'll just... Oh, Field of Ruin. All right. We'll just attack here. I don't believe Field of Ruin here does anything. We can Field of Ruin the Sanctum of Ugin in response to them casting something big, but it doesn't take them off a Tron, and right now they have to hold up the 5 mana. All right, so do this. They can blow that up. Yeah, I think this is worth drowning. All right. All right, so now they have to spend the rest of the turn blowing up the thing with the Oblivion Stone, which is fine-ish. I probably should have blown up a Sanctum of Ugin. That was probably not smart. Yeah, that was almost certainly not smart. All right, the opponent has to blow up this Oblivion Stone. Fine. And now we have Snapcaster, Cryptic Command for the worm. Oh, for whatever this is. Okay. Snapcaster, target, Cryptic Command. Counter this, draw a card. I need a blue. All right, cool. Cryptic Command's really good. I think that will lock it up. All right, I don't want to show them Cleansing Wildfire. Maybe that's greedy. Do they know we have Cleansing Wildfire? I don't. All right, we could lose because I want to hold or not show them this Cleansing Wildfire, but I think I want them to continue to keep cards like Wilt in because Wilt is really bad. I'm going to let this resolve because there's not really anything the opponent can get with this that we can't counter with the Cryptic Command, and I don't want to lose. Okay, yeah, I don't want to lose to cards I don't have to lose to. So we could still lose to Veil of Summer here. No. All right. And I guess we wouldn't lose to Veil of Summer. Yeah, Cake Man was on top, so we weren't losing to it anyway. All right, cool. Any changes? No, I think this is pretty good. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. We just need to get that Force Negation in the opening hand. All right, we have Cleansing Wildfire in the opening hand, and that is fast enough, so we'll keep this. There's a little bit of tension with the Creeping Tar Pit plus the Drowned Catacombs here in how I want to sequence this. But I guess with drawing Force Negation, we can just pitch the Thought Scour, and we'll make sure that all of our lands enter untapped all the way up through Cryptic Command after this. So I think I like this. All right, this is really good for us. I'm going to let this resolve because they can't even assemble Tron next turn. All right, and we'll just play this, and we'll wildfire out this because it's just mana efficient. All right, so we know that they got Tower. All right, cool. And they're going to scry. I think that's fine. We have more cleansing wildfires in the deck and stuff, and yeah, I'm not too worried about that. All right, we will Thought Scour ourselves because we could draw Tasigur. We draw Drown in the Lock though, which theoretically could be good. So we'll play a yeah, we'll just play the Drown Catacombs then. Sounds good. And then we can Thought Scour ourselves if our opponent doesn't cast something that we need to counter. All right, so we have Mine and Tower. I guess we're just going to let the Ancient Stirrings resolve. If they find Tron, you know, it's good for them, but we have enough counter spells in our hand. A Relic. Okay, well, that's something we're going to counter then. All right, Tasigur, plus we can hold up Force Negation. Seems pretty good if the opponent does find Tron. So, yeah, I guess we'll do that. And I guess we'll do this as painlessly as possible. So we'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and black. And now we have Force Negation up. Hardcast mode. Yeah, we'll just Force Negation that. Drown in the Lock's actually really good here too. All right, let's start by Thought Scouring ourselves. K command, okay. And we'll play this and attack. Cycles Wilt, that's fine, yep. Oblivion Stone. All right, we'll let that resolve, and then we'll just K command to destroy it and bring back Snapcaster Mage. So we will, and this is why Thought Scour is much better than Opt in this deck, is exactly this thing. So we're gonna destroy. Wait, hold on. Return target creature from your hand, destroy target artifact. All right, so Snapcaster Mage, this thing, you go. And black, boom, that's gone. We fetch, we get Watery Grave. Pass, untap, another Snapcaster Mage, all right? And then we can start getting our opponent into Snapcaster discard loops, which is pretty cool. Yeah, opponent's just dead. Great. All right, 2-0. The power of, you know, being able to beat Tron using Snapcaster Mages and some of the new tools from the last couple of sets. All right, looking good so far. All right, everyone, welcome to round 3. We finally won a die roll. And this deck does just significantly better on the play than on the draw. I think, though, I am going to start with this Blood Crypt tapped. I know that doesn't run with what a lot of the rest of the deck is doing, but I assume that there's a chance we're on burn, and this is the way that we would lose the least amount of life. Unfortunately, we're not on burn. Our opponent's not on burn. They're on a K command, or a what's that card called? Search for Tomorrow. So they're on Scapeshift of some sort. So yeah, this hand's not set up at all to beat that, and we might be in real big trouble here. Yeah, Farseek's fine. Like, we got to draw a lot of counter spells. All right. I think we might even be one turn too short on that. Yeah, let's maintain our life total because we want to stay over 18 because of how Scapeshift math works. All right, there's just a Valakut. That's fine. We can start firing off these K commands to make our opponent discard if they don't cast spells into our our mana. I mean, obviously they should cast spells into our mana, I think, because they're not going to win by not casting spells into our mana, but all right. All right, so that's 4 mountains. Oosh. All right, we'll shock you, discard. Red, black. All right, lightning bolt down. Inventory. So we'll probably make the same play again. If they don't cast anything, we'll just make them discard and cast inventory. It looks like they are going to. All right. Makes sense. So we'll counter this and draw a card. And we'll probably just bolt the opponent because that'll make it so that if we draw a Tasigur, we're going to be easier to cast it. Plus, we got to put a clock on the opponent somehow. Like another bolt. All right. Yeah, let's just pass the turn here, I guess. We just lose to most likely a Primeval Titan here. Opponent's got another one, or if they got a Scapeshift, just lose to that too. Our opponent doesn't do anything. That's great. So we will inventory. And then I guess we'll do the same thing with the K command. Just to use our mana. All right, Castle Garenbrig down. Fatal Push is horrible. The opponent can start using these lands to shoot damage at our face. With the next land, I guess. I guess they're holding it up in case of Creeping Tar Pit stuff. All right, there's 6 damage at us. And then I guess we will just snap Bolt here. Or we'll snap K command. Yeah, I like this better. All right, so this, and you discard black and red. Make them use the Wooded Foothills improperly. All right, Summoner's Pack down. Thought Scour. We'll Thought Scour ourselves. Tasigur, all right. See if the opponent blows up this flooded or this Wooded Foothills. No, they do not. Okay. And I guess we're going to cast this. Oh, wait, we want to tap correctly. So we'll do it off of this. 1, 3, 4, 5. Sure, like that. This means that our opponent will have to do the Flooded Strand. Both of them at the Tasigur here. All right, they drew another land. That's good. So now if we can untap, we actually are going to be completely golden because we can bolt our opponent in response to them fetching. So we'll attack, and we'll see how the opponent wants to set this damage. All right, and then in response, we'll just bolt our opponent. Cool. All right, we're able to get there with a combination of bolts and such. Moving on to game 2, our opponent's definitely going to have like really scary cards in this matchup. They have Veil of Summer. They potentially could have some Panza cards. Certainly want the Aether Gusts, and we probably are going to want the Cleansing Wildfires. Yeah, we're definitely not going to want the Fatal Pushes or the Cling to Dust. And bolts are pretty bad. They happen to be good in that game, but I think that was more because we just drew all of them, if that makes sense. I think I'm going to go like this. Yeah, I think this is the setup that we're going to want. All right, well, we certainly don't want that. It's a 1-lander. Is going down to 5 on the draw better? Maybe. Like, this hand doesn't do anything even after that. All right, we'll mulligan. All right, we're going to keep inventory, 2 lands, force a negation. All right, we'll keep Aether Gust. There we go. This is what we're going to do. All right, so this theoretically will get us back or even on cards. And we will be able to interact favorably with a Titan. All right. Opponent, unfortunately, did keep 7. All right. We Scrybug into the card that we put on the bottom, so that's good. Did you see how important staying above 18 was in that game? So we might try to do that this game. I don't know how successful we're going to be because we are going to need a red land at some point, but maybe we'll just get that off the Field of Ruin. All right, this is fine. Definitely I'm going to want to just inventory here. Opponent probably brought in Baloths because of all of our discard effects. I guess we didn't really board in a way that we could beat Baloth. That might have been a little bit of an oversight. If we lose to... Well, I guess we got the Aether Gusts are... Well, they're not great against Baloth, I guess. I don't know. We got Cryptic Commands and stuff. I think we'll be okay. Especially on the play, we'll be okay. On the draw, you know, I mean, it's just Modern. On the draw, everything's a little iffy sometimes, so... All right, the opponent having a basic forest is actually really, really good for us because that means that they need more lands for their Valakut to turn on. So even if they do, you know, naturally play Valakuts, we have a little bit more breathing room than we had last match for them. All right, they're just going to cast a Search for Tomorrow. That's fine, yeah. All right, we are going to just go ahead and get a red source here because well, that's not what I wanted to do at all. I was going back and forth between Island and the other thing, and I just mouse slipped. But anyway, all right, we're drawing that, I guess. All right, there's just a regular Island. All right, we'll play Field of Ruin here, and we'll pass if they play. Yeah, let's see what happens here. All right. So I think we are just going to go ahead and blow up this Stomping Ground and get an Island because our mana is really iffy and we have more Field of Ruins, and I'm not sure how many more mountains the opponent has. So we theoretically could get them on something like this at some point. We're going to play an Island because that'll let us hold up Cryptic Command. This also is reducing the number of forests that the opponent has, which is kind of cool. Farseek's fine. All right, well, inventory. All right, Charm is good too. Cool. We're going to main phase blow up the Cinderglade too, because what I think the opponent's trying to do is set up a turn where they can play multiple spells. Like they're going to try to play Primetime plus like Field or one of the Veil of Summer. Ugh. All right, so there's Primetime. So we're going to Archmage's Charm. Oh no, we could just Aether Gust this. Yeah, all right, let's just Aether Gust it. That's fine. Cool. They put Primetime on the bottom. That's weird. Okay. All right, they just play Valakut. That's fine. All right, this is Scapeshift. So we will we'll counter this. Then they'll okay, I was gonna say then they'll probably Veil of Summer, but no. Okay. And then we had Force Negation up. I'm trying to play around Veil of Summer the best I can. All right, we're going to let that resolve for sure. Counter the Primeval Titan. Okay. And then we can bounce a forest here, and then if we draw Snapcaster Mage, we can just kill our opponent. Because they won't be able to pay for Pact. Yeah, let's do it. This is super greedy, but I kind of love the play, so we're going to do it. All right, there's an Aether Gust. Yeah, there we go. Really greedy play, but it looks like it's going to work out for us. So we're going to do this and then bounce their other forest. We'll lose to Veil of Summer here, but I think our opponent would have killed us with that if they had it before. Yeah, perfect. They concede. Awesome. So that was a little bit of a risky line, but the opponent was going to have to fetch with this and like shock themselves. It was going to be a whole big mess for the opponent to try to get out of that anyway, with bouncing it once, especially with us having all this other stuff in hand. And I was not going to just, pass up the free win with the Cryptic Command there. All right, so 3-0. Let's keep going. All right, everyone. Welcome to round number 4. I'm keeping this hand entirely because we're on the draw. We're going to have, like 3 looks at a land between the... 2 draw steps and the Thought Scour. Wow, okay. Yeah, we'll let that resolve. And we got a quick Tasigur, plus we've got Force Negation with this hand, so I'm actually pretty stoked about our chances beating Tron here. Pardon me, sorry for that. Ancient Stirrings. Well, let's get a black land here. We'll get blue-black. And we'll Thought Scour ourselves. And then I guess based on what we draw, we'll decide if we're forcing this or not. Field of Ruin. Okay. Yeah, I think we're still likely to force this. So we'll force this. We'll pitch a Cryptic Command. And then next turn we can actually just play Tasigur. Blast Zone. Yeah. It's great. All right. So unfortunately we weren't able to Thought Scour and do what we wanted to, but we can still do this. We're probably going to want the Lightning Bolt over anything else. Either Lightning Bolt or Force Negation. Do Lightning Bolt, that's fine. Hope the opponent misses on lands or doesn't hit Tron lands. Yeah, that's not a Tron land. Great. Yeah, Oblivion Stone's fine. We have K Command. Snapcaster Mage is unfortunate. Land. Alright, it's kind of a land. So we can prevent our opponent from getting a Tron one more time. Alright, this is good. This might be a Karn, or it's a Thought-Knots here. Wow, okay, so they're playing a weird hybrid combo between Eldrazi Tron and regular Tron, so that's kind of interesting. I like that. Creeping Tar Pit. I like how we can favorably attack here, and I probably want to race considering we have bolts and stuff in our deck. Plus, we got this Creeping Tar Pit, obviously. So we'll do that, and we'll, I guess, Field of Ruin in draw step the mine. So there's a little bit of tension as to whether or not we want to get Island or if we want to get Mountain. I think we're more likely to draw an Island card, but it's probably relatively close. They're just going to blow up the Oblivion Stone. Oh, they're just putting a Fate counter on. That's fine, yeah. All right, Star goes. That's fine. Opponent really wants to race here, huh? All right, well, I don't know how well that's going to end up for you. Opponent's down to 8. They kind of need to hold up this Oblivion Stone or they're just dead. Well, they're not just dead, but they need to also not attack with the Thought-Knot Seer. All right, there's a tower. Oh, they're just going to blow with the Oblivion Stone. Sure, I think. Fine. See if they attack. They do attack. All right. So then they're just dead. All right, cool. And this is why we left Bolt. In case any of you were against that decision to leave Bolt. Creeping Tar Pit plus Snapcaster Mage is a lot of reach. Oh, let's tap our lands, right? Cool. All right. Oh, I thought the opponent was conceding there. All right. Now they're dead. And once again, that's why we kept Bolton. All right, so they're playing like an Eldrazi Tron combo hybrid. I don't think Bolt's going to be very good, but Fatal Push might actually be good. So maybe we want to trim all the Bolts and the Cling to Dust, and we want to bring in Shark Typhoons because they're going to have Graveyard Hate. We got to win the game somehow. Plus Cleansing Wildfire, plus theoretically maybe Flusterstorm, but I think I'm a little less high on Flusterstorm because they have like Thought-Knot Seers, which they could be playing instead of like Sylvan Scrying. I don't know how they would be able to fit all of those cards in together. So maybe we'll just not do the Flusterstorm this time, especially since we're on the draw. Yeah, so we'll just cut the Lightning Bolts. Yeah, that seems fine. Cool. All right, it's got a Wildfire and a Force Negation. Let's do it. It's also got a turn 1 play. Didn't even see that. Cool. Spheres in. It's fine. Scalding Tarn. I think we might just we're just gonna get basic island with this because we have the turn 2 Cleansing Wildfire. Stirrings I think is fine because we're gonna blow up whatever land they find with it. They'll probably play it here, and then we'll just blow it up. Oh, they find a forest. Okay, that's really not scary. Go island and Thought Scour ourselves. All right, I think we are still going to Cleansing Wildfire here. It just draws us deeper into the deck, and it really sets our opponent back a couple of turns. Cool. We drew a land, which was exactly what we needed, or, a blue land. Might force this. Nah, I'm not going to force that, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know what they have in hand. Like, forcing that and then them just having a Tron piece is really bad. Because right now they need so many things. Alright, there's a Chromatic Sphere. Did they miss a land drop? No. Okay, they just have another forest. Alright. Alright, we unfortunately cannot cast the Archmage's Charm. So we will just pass. But we're setting up our lands, which is, kind of exactly what we want to do here. Oblivion Stone's fine. We have, like, a million ways to interact with that. And also, we don't really plan on doing attacking on the ground like that. We'll get blue-black here tapped. This is fine. K-Command would be nice. We do have the Snapcaster Mage, so we can Snapcaster K-Command at some point. There's a Cleansing Wildfire. I think the chances of them having another forest in their deck is very low. So I think I'm cool with just firing this off now. They might even just concede to this. Oh, they do have another one. All right. Well, good for them. They got us a little bit there. We could lose to like a Thrag Tusk or something here. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to counter that. Now I think I'm certainly going to Snapcaster or Cleansing Wildfire the Urza's Mine. So we'll get a red source here. Just basically make sure they can never get enough lands to do what they want to do. They also can't cast Thought-Knot Seer if we keep doing this. Alright, cool. Yeah, now they're out of lands. Cool. Nothing going on. Now, I mean, it's not like easy mode, obviously, but it's going to be really hard for the opponent to beat this hand. I'm gonna play an island, I guess. We don't really need to worry about closing too fast. We're not gonna use this tar pit probably at all. I'll draw a couple cards. Is this non-basic land or is it just land? Destroy target land. Okay, well that's pretty cool. All right, so let's destroy target land. Play this, and we'll just discard the Scalding Tarn to hand size, I guess. We'll let that resolve, that's fine. Maybe we shouldn't have. Maybe we should have just really just tried to, pedal to the metal here. But I don't know. I mean, I think that's a little excessive. I'm not even going to fire off this Archmage's Charm because it doesn't really do anything. We have so many counter spells here. Yeah, let's counter that. We'll counter this and draw a card. All right, the opponent does have the Veil of Summer. All right, so now we will force the or counter the Veil of Summer and see if they maybe even have another Veil of Summer, and then we'll force negation that one. Force the counter the Veil of Summer. Okay, cool. So that's countered. Then this gets countered. Yeah, I mean, we'll just start countering things like. See if I can find a Snapcaster Mage or something that would win the game here. Okay. All right, the opponent is setting themselves up in a way where they are not going to die this turn. They have the ability to blow up the board. So we'll draw some cards. We will just discard and shock. We actually don't want to discard because they might have that. So we'll just destroy and shock. They might have like a Baloth or something like that. All right, so we want to destroy, deal 2 damage, and destroy an artifact. K command is so confusing. I mean, confusing is the wrong word. Like, the templating on the card is just hard to read. So shocking you, destroying the Oblivion Stone. All right, then you're going to spend the whole turn blowing up the Oblivion Stone. Okay, that's fine. And then I just kill you with the Creeping Tar Pit. Cool. All right. Cool. All right, we're on to the finals. I'm going to kick Magic Online because it's getting a little bit slow on me, and then we'll try to go for the trophy. See you in just a bit. All right, everyone, welcome to the finals of this league. This is the slowest hand that we've kept, I think. But yeah, I'm keeping it. I tend not to mulligan hands. Sometimes when I should. I think we got to find a hand that displays Frantic Inventory really well, and I think this might be it. More Tron. Really going hard on the Tron this league. I mean, we're doing well, so I'm going to post the league, but usually I don't like doing this. Force negation. Not force negation. All right. Yeah, let's just play Watery Grave here, and I guess we'll pass and hope the opponent doesn't jam something into our 2 mana, into our Mana Leak mana. Probably are. Oh, it's a Thought-Knot Seer. Ooh. All right. Well, now I can take the Fatal Push. This is, I guess, significantly less scary than what it could have been, though. Okay, they took the Fatal Push. Well, inventory. Scour. Yeah, we'll just play Steam Vents. Weird. Alright, see how dead we are. We can untap, or without having like way too much on board, we might be fine. This is Ulamog, we're just dead. I mean, that's 5 mana. Oh, it's 5 mana Walking Ballista. Okay. We can snap bolt the Thought-Knot Seer. Not the worst. I don't like it though. We can snap bolt the Walking Ballista. That doesn't seem good either. All right. I'm gonna bolt this. See if the opponent pings the Walking Ballista. Yeah, they do. Okay. So this is at least 1 less damage that we're going to take, which I guess is good. Okay, command. All right. Now we actually have a shot here. All right, the opponent pumping this twice is also kind of perfect. So we're going to 1 after all this is going to be over. That's not great, but okay. Oh no, they just ping us to 7. Okay, that's it. All right, we're just dead. Cool. All right. If we would have played that a little bit differently and held up the Fatal Push, we might have been in okay shape, but we didn't, and we lost because of it. I'm not really sure if that was a punt, because I wasn't even remotely thinking that was what we were going to do, and I wanted to just I figured we were gonna have to force negation anything there. But maybe I should have held. I don't know. I don't really think that was that big of a punt. Maybe it was a little bit of a punt. All right. So anyway, Damnation, Cleansing Wildfire seem good. Shark Typhoon seem good. They block. So these are good. The Lightning Bolts are not as great. Maybe we'll cut like 2. Maybe the Cleansing Wildfires aren't that good because they're just Eldrazi Tron. I don't really care about their lands that much. So maybe we just want like Damnation, Shark Typhoon. Or we can cut maybe another bolt. Cut 3 bolts like that on the play. I don't think I need to blow up their lands with Cleansing Wildfire. Yeah, let's do that. I know that I think this is a little different than how I boarded the last time, and not really sure which one's right. So, you know, we're going to be learning together. I'm going to keep this hand because it's got the Field of Ruin, it's got some lands, and we're on the play, so I don't think we can just lose. Opponent's mulliganing. So we can get a black source or a blue source, depending on how we need to do this. All right. We can also just run out a Snapcaster Mage here, which might not be horrible, depending on how they play this. Yeah, Matter Reshaper. Yeah, all right, we'll just let that roll. That's fine. All right, so I think I like just getting an island here. And then we'll Thought Scour at some point. But this is going to hold them off of being able to cast Thoughtseer this turn, which is what I was trying to do. We do need to find a black source, but there's a lot of ways to find black sources in this deck, and I really wanted to use all the mana. Sorceress Spyglass. Yeah, we'll let that happen because... Wait, what are they naming with Sorceress Spyglass? Field of Ruin? We don't have any Planeswalkers in this deck. All right, I mean, they might name a fetch land. They should probably name, like, Scalding Tarn. I don't know if they'll name Jace or something like that. Yeah, okay, they named Jace. And they don't have a land. Interesting. All right. Well, this is not a Jace deck. Land. Ugh. All right. I'm going to draw here to try to find a land because we can play... Oof. Wow, and now we need to discard a hand size. That was, like, the worst of everything that could have happened there just happened. Yeah, I guess we're getting rid of a Force of Negation. Horrible. We really needed a land there. Opponent's also missing lands, though, which is good. If we can get down this Tassiger, I think we're in very good shape, because then we can protect it with all of our counter magic. Oh, perfect. Basic Swamp. Where was that last turn? All right, let's get rid of this, and this, and this. We'll leave the Cling to Dust in there. There's Eldrazi Temple. All right, let's counter this. Lightning Bolt. Yeah, I'm just gonna attack. If they want to trade this off, this is fine. Yeah, cool. All right, they just want lands. That's reasonable. I mean, we don't really have a way to interact with them. Or interact with that card outside of killing it somehow. So if they want to kill it that way, I guess that's fine. They got a lot of lands now. All right, that's a Karn. I think I'm fine with letting this resolve, and I'm just going to Bolt Snap Bolt it. All right, they're just... Sure. This is even easier then. Oh, they get Liquid Metal Coating. Okay, sure. So we'll just Bolt it. And we'll Snap Bolt. Get the clock on the opponent with us having all this counter magic still in hand, plus a tar pit, which is excellent reach. Opponent's dead next turn unless they can interact with us on the board. See if they make us counter something, then obviously they're not dead. I might just let this resolve and see if they attack. No, I shouldn't do that, right? That's just loose. Yeah, let's just counter it. That's fine. We could still win if we draw another lightning bolt or something. We have... Oh, that was the only lightning bolt in the deck. Sure. Okay. We're 1 mana away from being able to kill them with the Creeping Tar Pit plus the Kolaghan's Command. But this way we can both cast Kolaghan's Command and that. I think we should be fine here. Ooh, Ulamog. Wow. All right, so they go after those two. So we will just... Oh, we just Snapcaster counter it? Yeah, all right, let's just do that. All right, cool. And then we'll just Kolaghan's Command to kill them. Discard, you deal 2 damage. Boom, boom, boom. Cool. All right, they concede. All right, so it's all on to this last one here. All right, do we want on the draw Cleansing Wildfire? If they have Ulamogs in their deck, then the answer is probably yes. Like, seriously. All right, so we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of the Fate or the Cling to Dust. Maybe trim like a Shark Typhoon. Maybe 8. Nah, I can't trim. All right, we'll trim the last bolt. The bolt was pretty good that game, but I don't think it will be in this one. All right, what does this hand do? If the opponent keeps. Opponent kept the game with 7, started with 7 cards in hand. All right. Can we win a trophy on the back of this hand? Opponent starts on 7 cards. It's going to be an interactive, longish game. This has got a Tassiger Frantic Inventory. Yeah, we'll keep this. It's not an amazing hand, but it's got lands, and we can cycle into spells that matter. If they have turn 2, then, you know, turn 2, Thought-Knot Seer, we're probably going to be in a lot of trouble regardless, but we'll try to get, you know, as many. Yeah, this is why they kept that hand, and this is, you know, the way that we would lose this hand or this game's, you know, for sure. We're gonna get a blue-black source here, I guess. Yeah, we'll get blue-black. That's fine. They might have to take the Tassiger, which I guess is kind of cool because the Tassiger does beat the Thought-Knot Seer in combat. But if they do turn 2 Eldrazi Temple, or if they can do turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer and a turn 3 Reality Smasher, we just lose. They took the Frantic Inventory. Interesting. All right, so then we're definitely here going to fetch and cycle the Shark Typhoon, just to ensure that we can play Tassiger next turn. I guess we'll see what the opponent does here. Because we don't have to, because that'll be 3 cards in the graveyard. We just get blue, red, and then something else here. Maze Mind's Tome. All right, I guess we are going to have to do that because we're really running low on time here. Let's get an island, and we'll just cycle the Shark Typhoon. This way we don't have to use the Polluted Delta yet. All right. I don't think we were supposed to force that, but there's a chance we were. Little unsure. Oh, actually, we have a K command. Yeah, so we're just going to play Tasker this turn, and then next turn we can K command, hopefully very favorably. We could blow up the Maze Mind's Tome and maybe something else too. They put a card on top of their library, which is scary as anything. We would force Karn, the Great Creator. I don't know what else we would exactly. Bloody Smasher, yikes. Okay. Snapcaster Mage. We're going to have to set ourselves up in a position here where we are bouncing the Reality Smasher in combat, discarding this Polluted Delta, I think. Which is like a really rough play. Because they could just cast it again. Alright, let's do it. Alternative to that, we could have done that at the end of the turn. But, yeah, all of these lines, I think, are really, really bad. We don't have a very clean answer to Reality Smasher, like, even in the whole 75. Okay, the opponent drawing with Maze Mind's Tomb is really good for us, actually. Well, that's a little less good. That's horrible. Spyglass. Okay, we don't... That doesn't matter. Wow. All right, I guess we got to force that. All right, so if our opponent is going to cast the Eldrazi, our only play, like literally our only play here, is going to be we're going to have to block it with the Tassiger, then the Tassiger is going to die, and then we got to shock the Reality Smasher with a Kolaghan's Command, discarding the other Kolaghan's Command to return Tassiger to our hand. So it's a really horrible line, but it's the only one I think we can make. So this happens, it dies. Sure, map's fine. Then we're going to return this Tassiger, shock this. And then we have to discard this other Kolaghan's Command. All right, of course we drew Drown in the Lock, which is not good. We're going to exile every card out of here so that hopefully we can get a little bit of value with the Drown in the Loch, or with the activation of the Tasigur. We need a lot of things to go right to win this game still. All right, so they're going to blow up the Drowned Catacombs. In response, we are going to activate the Tasigur. All right, cool. So we either get Snapcaster Mage or Cryptic Command, which are both great. All right, so that gets blown up. Now we'll see what the opponent has in store for us after that. 2 cards in our opponent's graveyard. If they can get up to 4, we could theoretically get, kind of in the money. They get Eldrazi Temple. All right, so that's 6, 7 mana. Oh my gosh. This is Endbringer. Oh, just all is dust. Okay, well now we can kill the Thought-Knot Seer. And we can Cleansing Wildfire. Okay. So we will drown this blue-black. We draw a card. Archmage's Charm. All right, we will Cleansing Wildfire. So it's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we will Cleansing Wildfire out an Eldrazi Temple because, well, actually, no. We probably got to blow up the Cavern of Souls. I was going to say we can blow up the Eldrazi Temple to keep him off Ulamog, but I don't think we're beating Ulamog anyway. All right. So now we got to fade Reality Smasher for a lot of turns. All right, they draw a card. Land and Relic. Okay, Relic is a good card, but we don't just lose to Relic, so that's good. All right, I'll definitely play a Tar Pit. Now we have Counter Magic up. We can draw 2 either with Thought Scours or draw 2 with Archmage's Charm. It would be Thought Scour, Snap, Thought Scour. Is this Ulamog? Gosh. All right, we got to try to beat an Ulamog now. Ugh. All right, they're getting rid of our black sources, which makes sense. Countering the Ulamog. All right, we're down to just 3 lands now. Hallowed Fountain, sure. Black land. See how many things we can still fight over. Opponent's got 1 more activation of the Maze Mind's Tome. Karn the Great Creator. Yikes. All right, let's Thought Scour ourselves. Hope to draw Force Negation. No, okay, that doesn't work. All right, what card are they going to get? Probably can't beat most of them. They get Wormcoil Engine. All right, they're 1 mana off from casting Wormcoil Engine. All right, so we are going to get Watery Grave. Go down to 2, and then we're going to Thought Scour ourselves. All right, we have a counter for the... All right, we got a counter for the Worm Coil Engine. We're like just barely holding on here. We need our opponent to have basically completely bricked off outside of that Worm Coil Engine. Oh, they're just going to try to kill us with the Sorcerer's Spyglass. That's not something I thought of. All right, we got to draw 2 cards then. Okay, we have to draw 2 cards in a specific way because we do have Fatal Pushes in the deck. So we need to draw 2 cards this specific way. And unfortunately, we didn't get there. Man. All right, well, good game, opponent. We got the 4-1, not quite the 5-0. It was a very nutty draw from the opponent. They had turn 2 Eldrazi, and yeah, there was a lot of stuff in that we... So I guess if we played the island there, we might have been in slightly better shape, but yeah, we weren't going to win that game anyway, I think. It was close, but not that close. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the content. I'll see you in the next video. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.